Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on 0 as a power. In this video, we will see what happens when 0 is a power. Consider each of the following. 9 divided by 9 equals 1. That's very straightforward. It then follows that 3 squared divided by 3 squared equals 1, because in each case 9 is exactly the same as 3 squared. In a similar manner, 5 squared divided by 5 squared equals 1. So this applies to any non-zero number that is squared. It then follows that m squared divided by m squared equals 1. Furthermore, it follows that m to the power of 3 divided by m to the power of 3 equals 1. M to the power of 4 divided by m to the power of 4 equals 1. In more general terms, we have m to the power of n divided by m to the power of n equals 1. Now what I'm doing here, I'm leading up to explaining how m to the 0 equals 1. It won't be long now. If we remember from previous videos, when we divide two terms that have the same base, we subtract the indices. So you remember, we're dividing these two terms. They have the same base, so we subtract the indices. So let's have a look on the next slide. So to show this fact, we have m to the n divided by m to the n equals 1. We already know that. Now I just mentioned that when we divide two terms together, where the bases are the same, you subtract the indices. So m to the power of n minus n equals 1. N minus n is 0, so m to the power of 0 equals 1. So that's a very important rule, and it does confuse a few people, but if you look at it in that manner, it's quite straightforward. Let's look at some examples. Simplify each of the following. 9 to the power of 0 equals 1. So that's very straightforward, following from this rule. W to the power of 0 equals 1. 7k to the power of 0. Now what does that equal? Well, k is the only term to the power of 0. So that'll be 7 times 1, because k to the 0 is 1. 7 ones are 7. 3m to the power of 0. Now from previous videos we saw that that's 3 to the 0 times m to the 0. 1 times 1 is 1. Or that whole term is to the power of 0, so you can say that it's 1 immediately. 15y squared over 3y to the power of 0. Now, y to the power of 0 is 1. 3 ones are 3. So that denominator is 3. If you divide 3 into 15, that gives you 5. So the answer is 5y squared. And the last one, we have to simplify this. Now it looks a little bit complicated, doesn't it, with all the letters and zeros everywhere? But let's have a look at it. Look at this part first. M to the 0 times k to the 0. Each of these is 1. 1 times 1. So that's that part. mk to the 0, that's very similar to this, isn't it? That one there. mk to the 0, just pretend, doesn't matter what numbers these are, when you multiply them together you'll get a single number. Put it to the power of 0, it gives you 1. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1. So this video has introduced a very important rule which has shown us that any number at this stage, let's work with whole numbers if you like. It also works with decimals, it works with fractions. We won't consider 0 at this stage for the value of m. So basically any non-zero number to the power of 0 gives you 1. That's the whole basis of this video.